My chocolate biscuit, as you said.
That's exactly what it was.
It's a protein brownie.
Well. Healthy eating diet. Got a chocolate biscuit for breakfast. Very impressive, Paul.
It's not a chocolate biscuit though, is it?
Well, it looks like it to me.
Protein brownie.
Is it really?
Oh, look.
Okay.
Because I went to the gym last night and no legs, so my legs are killing me.
So there's nothing bad in that at all then?
Well, probably better than chocolate bar, isn't it? It's better than your staple diet, isn't it?
What's wrong with that? Sandwich, bag of crisps,
Healthy pack of crisps.
carbs,
Yeah.
bit of fruit, look, and some porridge.
And the bread's really good for you, mate. Yeah.
Brown bread though,
It doesn't matter.
in fairness.
Still bread, isn't it?
Made the effort, mate. Right, so next job on the boring bar, guys. We've got a barrel here off a Rudge. What capacity this is, I do not know, but the customer has supplied his own liner, so it's a top hat liner, which is ideal. His own piston here, and he's even wrote the running clearance on it, so fairly self-explanatory. So I've just finished boring out the barrel there with a 3 thou interference for the liner. I'm just going to do the cut for the top hat. I have got to trim the bottom off this liner slightly because it's very slightly too long, and then I'm going to get that one pressed in. I've just had the new set of liners turn up for the Alvis set of barrels here. I did 2 days ago, I had a set of liners turn up, but they were actually the wrong liners, and it was my fault. I ordered the wrong ones. I'd looked at the wrong blooming thing on the chart there. Not a problem. I've sent them back and they've sent me the new ones. So hopefully once I've finished this Rudge, I can get those liners modified and pressed in. And I'll show you how we do that, guys. Right, so we've bored the Rudge out now for the liner. As you can see, got the flange groove in the top for there. So we've just deburred it on the inside slightly. Now we're just going to press this liner in. So we've got our normal setup there with the 2 bars. Which, as I've said to you before, if you haven't watched us do this before, what that does, having the 2 bars there, is sort of centralise, allows the liner to centralise itself in the barrel rather than it being determined by the bottom of the ram. Because if you do it directly from the bottom of the ram, you're relying on, there we go, you're relying on the bed being absolutely parallel to the bottom of the ram, you see. So by putting the 2 bars there, it just allows itself to central either way. What we're going to do now is we're going to face the top, and we're going to, where the liner is sort of slightly, about 5 mil below the bottom, we're just going to face the base of the barrel and then set it up to bore it. So progress report, guys. I've actually been in the office most of the day today. I haven't got a great deal of physical work done. I've been ordering bits, I've been sorting a load of stuff out. Just a little sort of lowdown on these engines. The N52 over here is almost done. Just got a couple bits to do once the rocker cover's on, just a couple of bits to tidy up here and put on, and that thing is all done there. We're still waiting for the pistons on the 4.2 Jag. As soon as we get those pistons, we can get that one on all together and on the way there, because the head's all done. It's just a case of plonking it all on. So yeah, very shortly, and that'll be done. The Land Rover, the Series 1, beautiful looking engine, lovely colour. John and Isaac have been on this sort of half of today, really, getting the cylinder head, sump on and all the rest of it. As you can see, they've had to take it off the engine stand because we've got to pin the flywheel to do the timing. But he's done everything else. He's done all the clearances. As you can see, this is a sort of half side valve, half overhead valve. So you've got half the valves in this side here and half of the valves in the cylinder head. So you've done the head, got 4 valves in there to do, you've done the clearances at the top, and then the same here, so you've got side valve, whereas the other valves at the top are operated by the push rods, like so. But yeah, this one's pretty much on the go. John just wanted to double check the timing, so we've ordered a manual for one of these just to check a few bits, which will be here Thursday. So Isaac's away on college now. He'll be back Friday, and we're going to leave this for him to finish on Friday because that's his first complete engine that he's done. So yeah, really pleased with that. He's done a great job. He's done most of it himself. This V8 here is the next one to be stripped in this bay. Well, stripped, to say this is how it's come in, so it's partly stripped. Apparently, this engine here is in an MGB V8, and the car's only actually done 20,000 miles from new. But obviously it's been standing for a very long time, and the customer, whether he's doing the car up, I don't really know the state of that, but he's obviously just wants to make sure the engine's all good. On first inspection, it all doesn't look too bad, but it has been sitting for a long time. So he just wants to go through it. You know, these vehicles now are worth quite a lot of money, so it's worth spending the money on. But everything's pretty standard. It's a pretty standard go through. So we'll probably bore this and put a set of pistons in and all the rest of it anyway if he wants us to build it. So, so yeah, we've got that one. This is is it 5.7? It's a big boy anyway, but we're going to strip that. This is an unknown in there. I think he's bought it as a donor and he wants to do some trick bits on it. I think we're going to go for aftermarket trick cylinder heads, so the heads will all be done. So it's just a case of stripping this first of all, see exactly what we've got inside. But yeah, quite looking forward to getting in amongst that one. The next one, I think when Isaac has done his Series 1 Land Rover, we've got a Jeep over here. So it's a Willys Jeep engine. I'm going to give him that one to do because while he's in the phase of doing the older engines, we'll give him that nice simple one to strip and see what we've got inside, and we can crack on with that. And then hopefully when the 4.2 has gone, we can get that Cosworth out and do that. But I believe that's a pre-cross flow under there. I better open it up and have a look. But RS Turbo Fiesta. So progress with this today, as you can see, it's bored. Just got to hone the bores once the pistons arrive. Ordered those today. Customer wants to go for H-section rods. We're going to go for the Wasner pistons, 1mm oversize, and we faced the block. The block, in fact, took about 10th hour to clean off. There was still some areas that obviously where the gasket's been blowing over time, not brilliant. It's pressure tested absolutely fine. We've still got plenty of cleaning to do on it before we prime it and paint it. But I'm not going to bother with that until we've honed the bores, to be honest with you. We've ordered most of the other bits, so gaskets. I've ordered a Newman cam kit today, so that's a solid lifter, high lift cam. It's good for decent power. I was speaking to Ken Newman actually earlier, and he said the cam that he's supplying is a good all-round cam. And back in the day when people were trying the top speed runs with all these old hatchbacks and what have you, someone actually got 170 mile an hour with his camshaft in an engine. So pretty good cam. They don't do a cam now actually at Newman for the hydraulic lifters because he said the hydraulic setup is rubbish, especially on a high lift. So we'll take his word for that. We've ordered that kit. Been on to Turbo Performance, Vince there, who I deal with, fantastic guy, very knowledgeable, been around for way longer than I've been in this game. Because this is a Fiesta Turbo, this has actually had the modification for the T3 as opposed to the T2, which the Fiesta has as standard. This is a T3 off an RS Turbo, Escort, so use a different manifold. The Turbo is sort of the other way round on the Escort, and it's a slightly bigger compressor housing and all the rest of it. So these are plenty tunable. So we're going to get that picked up by him tomorrow, and we're going to go for what they call a stage 2, really. So it'll have the 360 thrust bearing, it'll have a modern billet aluminium front wheel in it, and that will be good for the power. The customer wants to run between 200 and 220 horsepower, something like that. So that'll be absolutely brilliant for that. So that's going off tomorrow to be done. All the rest of the bits, he wants to go for ARP stud and nut kit in the mains, head bolts, head stud and nut kit. We've ordered water pump, high pressure oil pump, all the rest of the bits, mains, ARP studs, ARP flywheel bolts. The only thing I've got to do is got to speak to a couple of people tomorrow about a clutch, maybe a 6 paddle that's a little bit more friendly than the old APs used to be. Although I know that AP have improved with the Cosworth, so it may be the same thing really. So yeah, just got to sort that. Obviously we can't balance the crank and everything until we've got that. So yeah, cracking on with this, guys. Oh, not even going to bother cleaning up the sump. I know I said to you yesterday that's looking a bit doggy. We're just going to order a new one from Burton. They're about 65 quid, I think, so it's not worth piddling about. These are the only things we're struggling with at the minute. So the tensioner for the RS Turbo is a bit non-existent. So if any of you guys are out there that know about these RS Turbo engines or the CVH, if you know where we can get a new one of them from, feel free to comment, guys, or get in touch with me via email. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, all coming together. Pretty standard stuff. Just going to do a little bit of work on the cylinder head, which is round here, as in open up the throats of the inlets and do our usual bits of trickery on the head just to give them a bit more torque maybe, and that will be absolutely lovely. I think we should discuss the negative comments, Paul, in the last video and all the videos for the clickbaiting maybe.
Right, yeah. I had a quick scan through.
Yeah.
I mean, clickbait, isn't it? Everyone does it nowadays, so everyone's doing it.
You have to, really.
You know, that's the thing in YouTube. If you just put BMW M52 or Jaguar 3.5 build,
yeah,
you're not going to get that many views. Let's be honest.
No.
And I just imagine a lot of people probably found the channel potentially through the clickbait.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes we are guilty of maybe making it a bit too clickbaity.
You've got to put something in the thumbnail and title, you know, to whatever's in the video. But it almost seems like if it's over dramatized or too dramatized, they put it as clickbait. Whereas, well, in fairness to us, everything that is in the title and the thumbnail is in the video, isn't it?
I don't think that clickbait's that bad. I've seen much worse clickbait.
Yeah.
To the point where it's at 2 minutes at the end of the video or 30 seconds at the end of the video. Whereas I think some of the stuff we probably clickbait is discussed. Okay, at times maybe we do take it a little bit far.
Maybe, yeah.
But I mean, it's... Yeah.
The trouble is, if I do a clickbaity thumbnail and title, the views are way more than if you don't.
You do have to dramatise it to a point. Yeah,
you do, and that is all. It's not to do with the content. That is all to do with what the thumbnail is. So, like, you've got to put something like that to get the views up. The whole idea of the channel is to get views, isn't it?
Well, you're going to find more viewers, aren't you? Potentially get more subscribers. Okay, we might lose a few subscribers, which we don't want to do.
No.
But if people are that bothered about clickbait, then maybe we're not necessarily a channel for those sort of people. And
yeah, that's right.
That's down to them. It's personal preference.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. I mean, personally, for me, if I'm watching, I follow 2 or 3 channels every time they're on, and I don't really take much notice of the title and the thumbnail, to be honest with you. It doesn't draw me in because I'm a subscriber and I follow every video they do anyway. So that for me didn't really make any difference. But then again, I'm not one to sort of throw comments to many videos or many channels. So what do you think then? Do you reckon we should sort of tame the clickbaiting down and put something...
Maybe if that's what the people want, but...
YouTube's made it like that, isn't it? So you've got to do a clickbaity title and thumbnail to get in the algorithm, it seems like. So a lot of our successful videos that have got sort of went a bit virally, it was really all to do with the thumbnail and title, I reckon.
A lot of it, yeah.
You've obviously gained subscribers out of it. And viewers, and some people probably even got into your channel. I've got into channels like YouTube where something's been quite clickbaity, and you sort of think, well, and then you get into the channel properly and think, oh, this is quite a good channel.
Yeah.
So, I saw a comment last night that sort of sums it up to me, really, which is, although sometimes they might be a bit clickbaity, most of the time people are going to watch it anyway, and like, I don't really, when I'm watching a video, I don't look at the title particularly. I might look at it, but I'm not really that interested in what it says.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just said to Paul, yeah. Whenever I watch my channels, I don't really... It's
just classic advertising. That's all it is.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
You know, TV companies have been doing it for years.
Yeah.
So we're just using those sort of tactics. I mean...
That's what it is, yeah.
It offends them,
really.
I'm sort of sorry, but, you know...
Yeah.
So,
oh, well.
We should do that idea, though, shouldn't we? That Lee Marshall open evening, Grass Island, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We're talking about.
Barbecue.
Do you reckon?
Maybe we should do that, yeah.
Where are we going to hold that, here?
Maybe not his house.
Maybe not his house.
Maybe not his house. You might have a few stragglers at 11 o'clock at night walk in.
So what do you suggest? What do you reckon we should do?
I think we should have a spring of BM Engines barbecue And well, I know a local man that do a lovely barbecue.
Or we could meet at a track.
Yeah.
So we get everyone to comment on this where they would like us to do it, where would be a sort of central meeting point. Maybe do it at a track day. Take people out in the kit car, maybe.
Might get some insurance for that, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, I will get some insurance for that. Ow, my neck hurts. You didn't crash. Yeah, it still hurts. I would definitely get
we could organise that, I'm sure.
Print out a few waivers, that's what you need.
No, it won't work in court of law.
Don't you think?
No, it won't. You need insurance. Trust me. Right. No, you need insurance. We thought about this years ago and did drift demos, and someone sort of turned around and said, well, a piece of paper in a court of law isn't really... I'm not a lawyer. I'm not. So maybe if there's any lawyers watching, comment. And
Paul's not a lawyer.
But
found that out.
I'm pretty. Not really an engine builder either. I just bolt it together.
He is an engine builder.
No, I am. But I just bolt it together when it's been machined. No, I'm just modest. But,
so let us know down in the comments if you think that's a good idea. We could do something like that. Meet at a track. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Or we could do a...
And if there's any lawyers out there, let us know on the insurance side of it, where we stand with that, because we don't want to get into trouble.
Don't want to get sued.
We don't want 20,000 people throwing a whiplash claim at us.
I reckon we should do a Q&A as well. I reckon maybe do Q&A soon, maybe do it for Christmas special.
Yeah, sounds
Q&A
right.
Christmas special. Who's the fittest out of all three of us? Obviously me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So more protein.
Nice to see you got a nice relative sized ego, Paul.
It's it depends on the day, mate. Sometimes
you met Paul Dove.
Sometimes it's very big, and sometimes it's don't put that in a video. I really hope you remember to edit that out.
So we're just going to top that liner down to the existing outside diameter of the barrel. This is on the bottom end. So as you can see, the Rudge barrel is all done bar honing, guys. We're not going to set this up on the boring bar because there's only 10th thou to come out. So what I'm going to do is just rough it out with the rough hones on the Delapina there, and then just the fine stones. If there was 20th thou to come out, then I would bore it, but it's not worth it. But before I can do that, you can see we've got the Rover 6-cylinder up there being honed. We're going to leave that until the next video now. But we're just going to, same again, we're going to rough that one out to first oversize, and then we'll get this one up. So yeah, hope you didn't mind our little discussion today between me and the boys on the clickbaity sort of thumbnail and titles, guys. I really appreciate it if you commented down below, or even chuck me a couple of emails, whatever, on your suggestions on which way we should go with that, because as we've said in our conversation there, it's a bit difficult because, you know, the slightly clickbaity thumbnails especially do draw in quite a lot more views. So you let us know what you think on that. I'm sure you will anyway, and we will take note of those and try and sort of do whatever you want us to do, really, guys, providing it does get the views, because at the end of the day, that's what we need, the views. But until another video, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back now Friday, so have a lovely couple of days, guys. Take care. Cheers.